Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all for the Ask Me Anything session.
Hmm.
This session is on Ask Me Anything on co-founders, and the speaker for today's session is Ms. Padma Chandrasekharan. She's an angel investor and the management advisor. She's also a former senior program officer at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, former CEO and founder of Virgin Tech, and former president of Internet Business at SIFI. Been a great support HTIC in all the events we do, most of all the events we do, providing mentorship to the startups from HTIC. So very happy to have you here again, ma'am. So the format for the today's session, the Ask Me Anything series, is we'll take the first 5 or 10 minutes for the speaker to talk about the topic of the session, and then we'll go ahead with the participants' questions. So participant can go ahead, unmute, and go ahead and ask the questions on co-founders to ma'am. And if you face any issues in mic or audio video, you can also post it in the chat box. We can read it out for you. So with that, ma'am, over to you to set the tone for the session.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah. Tell me.
yes, ma'am. So we can have the first initial 5 or 10 minutes for you to start the session with a few topics on or the initial introduction on the co-founders or anything we want to convey the participants, and then from there we'll go ahead with the questions from the participants. And that's how the format for this AMA that we usually follow. So we ask you to please go forward with the initial round of introduction, and then we'll go ahead with the questions from the participants.
Right. Do they want to start?
We can start first, ma'am. So we request you to please start with the.
With what?
Usually, we start the session with word from the speaker on the topic for today, and then from there we'll take up the
This
questions
is
from
the
the participants.
normal, the entrepreneur class thing, right?
This is the Ask Me Anything session we usually run
For the
every
class.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you like me to say? Because normally, I hear people telling me, their stories, and then I, ask specific questions and answer them.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
one is for you to talk about. Sorry, Padma, this is Muthu. This is the
Yeah.
one you did last year on co-founders. So we just give them a quick talk about founders, how the some of the attribute we look at co-founders, and
Oh,
then they
okay.
will
Yeah,
ask
no,
questions.
because that was not
Yeah.
clear to me at all. All right, I got it.
Okay. So the one we did long time ago, I think
Yeah, yeah, but
maybe
it wasn't clear in the mail
no
exchange.
worries,
Yes.
no
Yeah.
worries, no worries.
All
So
right.
that's
So,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
just okay. So
yeah.
many of you, I don't know, already have co-founders or you're looking for co-founders. Now, things that you have to keep in mind, the most successful co-founder partnerships typically tend to be made out of people who have known each other a while, because that, there's an established working relationship and you know each other's quirks and so on and so forth. So that's number one. That may not always be the case. If that's not always the case, then at least you try to meet up the person in a class like you're doing now, or in some other environment, test out each other's ability to, relate well with each other, you and try and go forward with that. See, any amount of legal, prenuptial contract that you put in is not useful unless the EQ is there between the two founders. So this is really the top line. From an investor's perspective, we don't like to see a single. Yes, wait on. I'm seeing questions from an investor's perspective. I don't see. We don't normally like a single founder. We like to see, two or three founders. Single founders are rare. I mean, there are very rare successful ones, no doubt. But usually you'll find that there are two or three people who, have built, especially when you're at the small starting stage. So I would encourage you to look for good co-founders. Now I see that people have been asking questions. So can we move on, or do you want me to say anything
Yes.
else on this?
Yes, ma'am. We'll move on with the questions from the participants. First, we have a couple of questions from Remco's Technologies. Remco's Technologies, do you want to go unmute and go ahead with your questions? Oh, we'll take it in the order, ma'am. So
Yeah,
the
I
first
saw it.
question from
What
him,
is the
yeah,
secret to
secrets.
successful and lasting co-founder relationship? I think I might have just answered this in the beginning by saying, it is both of the partners should respect each other and should have should not dislike each other. I think it becomes very difficult when you dislike the other person. You should endeavor to be fair to each other. Preferably, they should not both have the same traits, personality traits and the same skills. Complementary set of skills helps a lot. And as I said, the more you work with each other, the longer it becomes self-fulfilling over a while. I don't know if I've answered your question from Remcos, but that is, essentially the answer. And Mr. Sendil Raja has now asked a question: how
Yes,
to
ma'am.
become a co-founder? How to become I mean, are you starting off on your own?
Senthil Raja, you can unmute and you can answer.
Yes,
So do you mean how to
yes.
find a co-founder?
No, madam. How to become a co-founder?
Why? Are you not a founder already?
No, madam.
What are you doing in this course then?
No, I'm working, madam.
You're working. I see. You're working, but you want to be a co-founder for somebody else.
Senthil Raja, please go on mute so we can hear from Padma ma'am. Could you please go on mute? There's a lot
So
of
Archana, what he's
noise.
saying is that he's working and he wants to find somebody who looks for a co-founder. Is that what he's saying?
Yes, ma'am. He's saying he's currently working and he wished to become a co-founder for any company. So how to become that's
Yeah, that's
that's
a somewhat harder one. I mean, you really have to be at a lot of these events. There are Thai events, there are other entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs events, which you join, mingle. You have to get into that circle of people and get to know them to become, well regarded and to find leads. It's not people don't say I'm looking for a co-founder, because normally a co-founders organically join. So you can't become a co-founder unless you know people and they know you, and then they say, hey, why don't we get together? Okay, Remcos.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, Remcos, next question. Apart from identifying market and HR functions, what was this question about?
so
Hello.
his question is yes, yes, please go ahead, Professor Ravi Krishna.
Yeah. So actually, I was thinking about the co-founder. If there are two or more co-founders, apart from the like the duties and responsibilities, like identifying the marketing opportunities, new product development, and marketing promotion, and heading the finance and handling the finances. What are the other important traits co-founder must have to have a successful in a company?
See, you're talking about two different things. One is the roles that people can take and competencies.
Yeah,
So, by the
exactly.
way, in direct marketing, I include sales. Finally, let's use the word sales. Unless someone brings in sales and revenue, your company is going for a toss. That's the very first thing you should think about. How am I going to make money? I mean, that is, the company will have to make money to survive. So
Yeah.
those are roles. And that's one thing. I think the other thing that you're talking about is, what else? I mean, you really have to look at the founders have to be complementary in nature. So if somebody brings strong sales and marketing experience, the other person should have technology and product development experience. HR and marketing and all, in HR and finance and all are, normally you may have one of the founders overseeing it, but you'll hire someone to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from
How
Amal
much? Yeah.
Kiran.
Yeah. How do you decide who should be a co-founder and who should be? That is if it's now 2 or 3 of you getting together, then you're all co-founders.
No, I think my question is, I've already started off. I'm a single founder, right? And I have a
Yeah.
second part to that question as well. And I am looking
For a
to,
co-founder, talk to Sendil
yes,
Raja.
yeah, I will do that. But like, I don't want to rush into that relationship, right? Is
Yes,
there,
you don't. No, absolutely not. Yes, you must date and establish compatibility
so
and
what's the
competence.
from here to that stage, right? Is there something that you might have seen has worked for other startups? Do I bring them in on as a core team member and then kind of have that conversation with them at a later date, saying, look, we want to transition you to a co-founder role? How does that process work?
Yeah, see, if you're already 6 months or more into incorporating your company and you've begun building product and so on, then better to get them in as core team members. And then later on decide, okay, we will confer the co-founder status later.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's where we are right now. We started 6 months ago and I've got it till here. But I do realize that, but again, right, so ideally I would have a tech co-founder and a subject matter expertise co-founder. We're building something called Daffodil Health, which is a full stack mental health platform for children with special needs. So I have certain sort of persona in mind of who that ideal co-founder would be. Right? Until I find them, it doesn't seem to make sense to kind of jump into that relationship. Right?
Yeah, and even you may never find that person. You may be so far gone that it may not be possible to have. You may just have another core team member, give them a few more shares, etc., etc.
Right. So that's actually the second part of my question, right? Which is how much equity should we reserve at this stage, 6 months into the startup, for co-founders, and how much for ESOPs? Are there some rules around?
At this stage, you may reserve a maximum of 10% for ESOPs and co-founder all put together. Since you are doing the bulk of the work.
Right. Okay.
You can always decide to, to dilute more subsequently from your own share.
Okay. 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 So how would that work with the investor community, right?
No, that has to be done with the investor's consent. It's not going to be done without the investor's consent.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to say on my cap table, I'm reserving this much for
yes.
future use.
That's fine. You can say I'm reserving 10% for ESOPs and direct shares to core team members and say leave it at that.
All right. And advisory shares on any rules on how much?
Yeah, some people, some companies do give advisor shares, normally like about 0.5%, 1%.
Okay.
And that also you must have some kind of, vesting duration, let's say every quarter.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Amal. Thank you, ma'am. We'll move to the next question from Ganesh Vishwanathan. Ganesh, you want to unmute and elaborate on your question?
Yeah, my question is, hi Padma. My question is, one, how many co-founders should be ideally be there in a company? Can we have 4? Can we have 5? Or is it by function, like somebody handling IT, somebody handling marketing, somebody handling operations, somebody handling finance? Is it like that? Second question is, how do you handle founder differences? If it reaches a point of no return, so how do you handle it?
Yeah, now see, you're asked the first question. The second question is fair, and I'll come back to it. It's much easier to handle. The first question, as I said, is completely serendipitous. It's based on the circumstances. If you look at Infosys, I think you can count at least 7 of them. Nandan, Narayan Murthy, this guy, the Pai was there, then somebody else, K.S. Gopalakrishnan. I mean, like I can count 7. Shibulal, so many of them. Like, yeah, so many of them were there. So that was like a very large, cohort at that time. But that was in '89. And then there's Freshworks, where Girish Mathrubootham is like, I think he has a co-founder, but Girish Mathrubootham is the only one that anyone speaks of. So there is no top-down rule on this, but as a thumb rule, if you have more than 2 or 3 people, then coordination becomes difficult. So 3 people would be an ideal number. 2 or 3 is fine. Yes, Ganesh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you really have to find these founders. There has to be equal passion, and it can't be a date, like arranged marriage. It has to be, organically grown. To your second question, which I think is much more important, you talked about founder differences. I think the founders should be sitting in the same office. I mean, this is a COVID time now, so maybe they can't sit at the same office. But then they should be on Zoom morning, noon, and night, at least 2 or 3 times a day, talking on the phone all the time, always together, always looking, initial decisions, they should collaborate a lot. Then only a relationship forms where each knows the other's mind. So sharing of knowledge, sharing of thought process and knowing each other, that's extremely important. How the mind works. Then you can start to, to resort to more formal, say, daily, rhythm of the business, daily call, weekly call. So, you have to put that kind of structure into your interactions subsequently, once you've gone past the first 3 or 6 months. But the first 3 or 6 months, I would just say they're talking daily. You should be ideally sitting even in the same cabin.
Okay, so how do you put it all this in the SHA or shareholder agreement between the founders?
No, that you can't. Put
So
that.
differences, should they mention about the differences also, and how do they handle that?
Are you talking about when someone, let's say, gets up and wants to leave? Then what happens?
Yeah. They
That
have
is
some
different. No,
serious
I thought you were
difference of
I
opinion.
thought you were
Yeah,
talking about.
serious
I thought you were
difference of
talking about.
opinion. Yeah.
When he wants to get up and leave, then that you should agree upfront. So let's say he has worked with you for 2 years. So up to that point, whatever value he has got, I mean, you have to agree on, is he going to take the full? Obviously, you can't pay him capital out of the company. He may retain some portion of it, but subsequent rounds, he'll get diluted. So you'll have to think about, if he leaves, you have to have an agreement which says that you cannot simply pay him capital until the company is really flush with money. That will be the biggest challenge. Somebody leaves in, say, 3 years and you're still struggling. You can't afford to recompense him.
Yes.
Am I making sense? So that you have to capture and it's in a founder's agreement. If you Google the internet, you'll find founders' agreements, samples.
Sure.
Okay, next question was from MTI IITM. For any startup founder, what are the key criteria he or she would be looking in a co-founder? I did say this earlier, that they should have complementary, roles if possible. I mean, you can't have 2 technologists. It's better to have a technologist and a product manager, or a technologist and a salesman, something like that. More important, I think they need to be, having the same kind of EQ, able to talk to each other, understand, be good buddies. Those things would be important. And you can do some background searching, you can find known people to give references, that helps. But typically, most founders come from an environment where they've known each other for a while. Okay, shall we move to the next?
Yes, ma'am. Hope that answers.
Yeah,
I think it's Harshit. Yeah.
What are the issues that? Did somebody have a question?
No, ma'am. We'll move to the next question.
Yes.
Next
What are the
question from
issues that they
Sumitra.
need to discuss and clarify in terms of roles, shares, and ownerships? See, I think you have to discuss the shares and ownerships and the exit clauses. The roles may be a little fluid sometimes. In the early days, somebody may bill himself as a technologist, but he may need to go out on customer calls and convince customer to use the product. And if the technologist is not there for, say, a couple of days, the other guy may have to lead the team to deliver the product. So I wouldn't put the roles, this is too much like an organization, like a bureaucratic large organization. I would just keep to the shares and ownerships and exit clauses. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. So that answers the question. Hope that answers question from Sumitra, right? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Next question from Saranya. Saranya, can you go unmute and go ahead with your question? Can you elaborate on your question?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Very good evening, Padma, ma'am. This is Saranya from Rajalakshmi Engineering College. Ma'am, my thing is that we have just given out a proposal to just given a startup for keeping an idea proposed towards a healthcare applications. But being academicians, we have enough rich experience to research experience to formulate an idea and just draft the methodology to implement as well. But we don't have much knowledge pertaining to formulating a business model or availing the entrepreneurial skill sets and all. So I just want to know how to establish the same, and please let me know the strategies to flow through the same, ma'am. Because we have to transform ourselves from an academician towards as an co-founder. So how to fill this gap, ma'am, between an academician and an co-founder? Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
I think she got dropped. She should be.
Yes, you are audible, Saranya.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we have lost a connection. She will be joining us in a while. Just a second.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
I think there's a connectivity issue from her side. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes for her to reconnect.
Sure, ma'am.
We're just waiting for Padma ma'am to reconnect. So please bear with us a couple of minutes.
Okay, while we wait, maybe you repeat the question because Muthu, I'll try to attempt to respond to it. Let's not sort of just wait. Can you repeat the question and I'll try and respond?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Saranya, you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Very good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
Sir, through this project proposals came myself and two of our...
Padma is back, so maybe she will take it. Let her take it.
Yeah, ma'am has
Yes.
joined. Yes.
Yeah, go for it. So
Ma'am,
you need to repeat the question for her because I think she
Yeah,
got
sure.
disconnected. Yeah?
Sure, sir.
Sorry
Sure,
about
sir.
that. Sorry about
No
that.
problem. No problem, sir.
Go.
No problem.
Go for
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Padma, ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
You are audible, Saranya. I think ma'am is on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, Sharanya was asking a question. I'd like to go back to that question, please.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I repeat the same, ma'am?
No, I want you to elaborate. What do you mean by the question?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to know the
You are Sharanya or Archana?
Saranya, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, actually, three of us are academicians, and we have just formulated a startup based on the scheme. And we are academicians with very good research experience. But being an academician, we're not having enough skill set towards proposing a business model, or we don't have that much enough entrepreneurial skill sets. So we have just started up an idea, and we have drafted the methodology. And to the next level, we find it difficult. And I just want you to give some importance in filling the gap between how to transform ourselves from an academician towards an co-founder or a founder, ma'am.
Have you identified the gaps?
On behalf of my team, I'm just proposing them.
Yes,
Identifying gap
but
is
have
that,
you identified the
yeah,
gaps?
we thought like we have to collaborate, and as you said, we have to just rethink and reiterate for a number of times before we actually start with the implementation part of our idea. And as of now, we are just filtering out what is the costing and how to implement the same, ma'am. So we are trying to collaborate with industry people as well, ma'am, as of now.
Right. No, so you said you've identified the gaps. What did you mean by that?
No, ma'am. I just want you to give out an successful tips in transforming ourselves from an academician towards an successful founder and a
yeah.
co-founder.
So if you're really interested in this, then I would not be, doing feasibility studies forever and ever.
Okay,
I would
ma'am.
just get my feet wet in the water
Mm.
and go, at least build a prototype, see what people like. I don't know. Don't even know whether yours is the enterprise model or a consumer model. Whatever it is, build the prototype, see the
Yes, ma'am.
interest.
Okay.
I think you have to move fast. Speed
Okay.
is of the essence.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the first thing I would say. That if you're serious, don't, play.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Otherwise, see, academicians normally do a lot of feasibility studies and this, pre-research.
Experimentation.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, I would just say, no, industry is also an experimentation. A prototype is an experimentation. But it's an experimentation in the real world with real trial customers.
Okay, ma'am.
So get to the customer with some viable product as quickly as possible. If possible, even make the customer part of your product development process.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
All
yes,
right,
ma'am.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Archana, I had
Saranya.
lost the other questions because I got
Yes.
logged out. So you'll have to
Yes,
take the
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. The next question from Satish. Satish, you want to unmute and go ahead with your question? Satish. Okay, his question on how about the relationship between founder, co-founder, and their employees?
What does that mean?
So, Satish, can you please elaborate your question? What's the intent of the question? The relationship between founder, co-founder, and their employees. Yeah, please, Satish, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. How the co-founder and founder can understand the employees in terms of their performance, based on their performance, every employee's performance.
Have you worked in any large organization?
No, ma'am, I didn't. Not I doesn't work in large.
Are you straight out of college?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then see, because anybody who has worked 3 or 5 or 6 years in any large organization will not be asking this question.
Yes.
So, Muthu, I don't know if this is the right forum because this is an entirely different set of questions.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll need to take that
got
separately.
to do with see, and don't separate founder and co-founder. Just now founders, and then there is a core team and there's a team afterwards. So there will be standard evaluation, performance and evaluation, performance assessment practices. All of that will start kicking in. So I suggest that I don't know how many of you are there directly from campus. You may probably want to look at that as part of a small management course. You can find something on Coursera or Udemy or something like that. But I don't think it's absolutely essential now. Right now, you need to get on with a prototype and get customer acceptance.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Satish. Ma'am, we'll move to the next question from Pratima Raut. Pratima, can you unmute and go ahead with your question?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I want to ask right now we are only two co-founders, and if I want to add another co-founder in our team, so what are all that qualities should I look for in one co-founder? Or whether it is necessary that in starting only I should take him or her as a co-founder, or there is another word like team member or something I can take him like that.
See, is this person known to you, has been working with you? Is he as passionate about the idea, or you are going to sell the idea to him?
No, we are collaborating with them. If we
So
are
you're already
collaborating,
collaborating with a bunch of guys. So why do you separate yourself from them and say, I'm the founder and they are, people have to decide what to do about them?
no, actually, two, three people are there. They have good contact in market. So
Right.
if
And are they part of the initial, ideating and building the prototype?
no.
Then?
So they are just we can say mm, working with us, colleagues, office colleagues, kind of
And
people.
you working with us. So Pratima, you're working with somebody else.
No. My husband, I am a housewife only. I am working. I'm a co-founder of
That's
with us.
fine.
Uh,
You
so
and your husband are working on this project.
yes, correct. And I am a housewife. If I want
That's
to add,
perfectly all right. I mean, I'm very glad that you're on this project. So you are now talking about these additional people who are good in marketing. What do you want to do with them?
just use their to collaborate with them so that I can use their contacts in market for selling my products or getting market details from them because they have good hand in market.
Yeah. So what prevents you from doing that?
So I want to ask whether they will be a co-founder or they will be a
Why
team
should they
member.
be a co-founder? Why not just first evaluate, and see how good is the work that they're actually able to do for you. They may not wish to be co-founders. They may wish to be something
Ah,
else.
okay. This was my question only. Like
Yeah.
I
They may
want to
wish to
ask.
be, not leave their jobs, safe jobs in this time of stress. They may wish to be
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever they're doing. So, just work with them on a contractual basis, see how it develops, and if they express interest and you express interest, then you can take it forward. There's no
Padma,
need to lay out the carpet.
Padma, I think there's some confusion here between people. They think anybody who's got a share is a founder. I think we should clear that. Shareholders are not necessarily founders.
Yeah, no.
I think that is something the confusion here people are having.
Yeah,
So I
see, you
Yes,
think
can
sir.
give shares to people as a, let's say an incentive for, participating in the company's, good and bad times. But that's about it. Founders are normally, a core, tightly knit group of people who were there at the beginning of the project.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Next question from Madhubala Rajagopal. Madhubala, would you like to go ahead and ask a question?
Yeah. Thanks, Archana, and good evening, Mrs. Padma. This is I'm actually from Natural Minds, and we have a core team of 6 members, and we are developing health tech product on OPD consultation, both in person and teleconsulting, and taking it in a different platform and different media, different ways to connect doctors and patients, and that's our product is about. And we are in a good stage where we have hit the market, and we are enrolling doctors and then having some consultations, although it is not very, we are going in a slow pace and we are moving ahead. But what we are also looking at is we are looking for investors. Is this the right time that we are looking for investors? And what is that investors will look at interest, to come and invest into our company, and how to devise our growth path. This is where I was actually looking from investors angle. What is
Yeah,
it?
which city are you based in?
We are based in Bangalore.
Okay. So investors normally look for some evidence of traction, which means that, there are maybe a few paying customers.
Okay.
So that would be the stage at which and so by the way, when you say investors, there is a gradation. So first comes self, which means you and your friends,
Yes.
you and your co-founders. You have to,
Yeah.
people have to see what have you put in, either by way of lost salary, foregoing salary. You can't be working and still doing this, for example. It's not never going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Also by way of anything that you have put in, say, let's say mortgage your house and taken that, put that in, or taken a loan, done that. Then, friends and family, which means your immediate family first, which means your father, mother, brother, sister. Have you taken anything from them? Then friends.
Mm-hmm.
So self, friends and family. Then you go to angel investors. And then you go to, institutional investors. So that's how the cycle goes. And
Mm-hmm.
therefore, I would suggest that you look at this and then see what have you all put, what is the, resource that you all have used up so far, and decide whether you should go to friends and family or the next one.
We had put self, and then there is one through the Connect, one investor who had also put some money, and that's how it's going. We didn't really do a round of friends and family as such,
Right.
But we want to go for investors from here.
Right, but have you got traction now with customers?
Yes, we have onboarded about 100 doctors, and then the patients and consultations are happening. Last month we had about 150 consultations, and we are keeping traction on those as of now, and that's why we are moving.
So are you getting money from those customers?
Yeah, we are getting money from the customers. If it is we only charge for teleconsultation, not for in-person. In-person, it is directly with the patient and the doctor. We only facilitate. So with teleconsultation, yes, we are getting money.
Okay, then I mean, do the rounds, apply to the angel networks and see how they evaluate.
Okay, so where should I apply for? Angel
there are many angel networks. There's Mumbai Angels, Chennai Angels, and then there is Indian Angel Network. So Google on the internet. Use the internet.
Okay. Okay.
Look for the angel networks.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And can you also guide me on CGT SME? Is it a right time to know even apply for CGT SME and then go for angel investors, something like that? In that case, can I leverage the CGT SME, whatever the government scheme is there?
You can try that. I mean, if that government scheme, I don't know the exact regulations, but I think there's a lot of forms and process to be followed. So you can go and explore that and then see if there is something coming from there, in which case you can bypass angels completely.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that was another thing that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Which channel would will yield us faster and help us to also grow faster? Because
I'm not sure. I don't know how quickly the Atmanirbhar SME fund disbursed. I have no idea, but you should at least check out what the process is. See, in all of this, you have to be doing a lot of internet searching and a lot of parallel processing.
Yes, I did, and I also approached a couple of banks, and one of the bank said that yes, we will do, but then as it is CGT SME is like non-secured, unsecured loan, but he was saying partial. We have to show some assets.
Yeah, they'll want to hypothecate. Yeah, they'll want you to hypothecate something.
Yeah,
so you're talking about loan. I'm talking about equity.
Okay.
So other investors, angel investors and so on, give equity. I mean, they rarely give out loans because, loans are difficult. Private parties, I mean, they are not NBFCs. They don't do loans. So they will do equity investments. So you have to, first of all, understand the difference between those two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. So that answers my question. Thanks, Padma.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Nirmala. Next question from Mr. Benoy Matthew. Can you please go ahead with your question?
Yeah. Good evening, Ms. Padma. My name is Dr. Benoy Matthew. This is actually a question on why do investors prefer to have co-founders in the team? Is it not better if it's a single person who takes a decision? Is it not easier to work with?
Because team strength is, a very important thing, and therefore you need you need some fault tolerance in the system. So having 2 or 3 people, therefore you know that there's a robust team even in the initial stages.
Okay.
One person means it becomes too dependent on that one person.
Okay. And also it happens that the different team members are from different field in business.
That's fine. I mean, I think you all just have to make a good case for how well you all can work together and how well you all know each other.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We'll move to the next question. Next question from Valamarthi Arun.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, Archana. My question is, I'm actually a behavioral optometrist who provide vision therapy for special children.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking for co-founders. Is it the right approach? I go talk to people and tell I have this startup and you want to join me. Is that the right step to be done?
Don't you have a large circle of colleagues and business associates and friends?
Yeah, but
So
they
why
have
not
not
discuss
spoke
idea with
about.
them?
That is what I'm asking. We
Yeah, you
have
should
that
discuss
circle.
idea. Don't say I have a startup. Just say, shall we do a startup?
Okay.
Because you
But
want
that
them to
can be
also
done
take
even
ownership
if
of
they
it.
don't have the idea before. Can we go and start it up from there?
Yeah. I mean, you have to convince the person and say that, look, hey, this is the idea that I have. What do you think about it? And then maybe that person will contribute some idea, some better idea or some fine-tuned idea for you, may get sparked with an interest and may join you. So certainly, yes, I think search in your own circle first.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ularmati. Next question from Aguna Madhumita. You wanna go ahead with your question? Madhumita, do you wanna go ahead with your question? Aguna Madhumita. Maybe I'll read out the question for you. So I'm Madhumita Aguna. I'm getting trained with the laboratory methods and also I am simultaneously working on a research project. I had a conversation with the founder of an organization for starting up a laboratory with their brand value to train the students with laboratory techniques. I wish to think a bit later after training students with the further growth and development of my startup. Is that something that I can do or is it too early to start off?
What will the business do exactly?
Yeah, so Madhumita, can you unmute and elaborate your question, please? I think she has left the meeting, so
Okay.
we'll move to,
Yeah, I can't see her on the list.
yes, so I think we then move to the next question maybe. So from Suganti, this is not the question related to the co-founders, but as a general question, she's asking, currently they're working from home and suggest some techniques to overcome the barrier due to lockdown and get into action at faster pace.
What kind of product you're working on?
Hello, good evening, ma'am. I'm Suganti. Actually, myself and Saranya and Mr. Selvakumar, we have teamed up. So our product is to establish a super hydrophobic coating on the gloves and PPEs used by healthcare professionals so that the
water
contamination is destroyed. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So how are you doing? I mean, this will require a lot of lab experimentation, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
How are you doing that?
Actually, initially we have our research experience. So I have worked with enzyme immobilization, and Saranya has worked on nanoparticles for nanomaterials for cancer curing.
No,
and,
that's the past. But
yeah.
now, if you need to, make some, say, prototypes, you need a lab, and you need to, procure gloves, find some way to coat it with this substance that first of all make the substance and then coat it with the substance.
So can we approach already people who are there in the field to get to know their techniques and then later on modify it or refine it with our own ideas? So
you can, I mean, your question was how can we do better in COVID time? Now that is not a question because yours you do require first of all you require a lab from what I can see.
Yeah,
and second,
yes,
you require actual. I mean, you need to make the substance even in small batches.
Yes.
And then you need to have the ability to coat. So the coat, I mean, I don't think the coating is manual. I suspect the coating is industrial, right?
Yes, ma'am. Maybe dip coating or a spray coating, etc.
Yes, exactly. It's not manually done. So, you have to have some kind of manufacturing process to coat it. So better to approach those, let's say the glove manufacturers or the PPE kit manufacturers and see if they'll be interested.
Okay, ma'am.
That's just one idea that I'm throwing out. Your other problem of, working in isolation, I really can't solve that because that's a hard one.
Yes.
But I hope you all have access to an academics laboratory.
Yes. We have a research center in our college, and so we can go there, and we have substantial set of equipments for that also.
Then meet over there and work over there. So long as you mask yourself and it's well ventilated, keep the doors open, you're safe.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. So we'll do that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Suganti. Next question from Sumitra.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
when is the right time a founder of startup should be looking for a co-founder?
For a?
When is the right time of a founder of a startup should be looking for a co-founder? That's a question.
I mean, the right time is immediately ASAP. First thing.
Yeah, ma'am. So,
I mean, see, this is not like an arranged marriage, okay? This has to happen organically, preferably. If you cannot find a co-founder, sometimes, yeah, like for example, you have K7, which is run by that guy named, it's a security software company run by K7. I've known him for now 25 years or more. He's a sole proprietor. Suresh Sambandam, he runs Orangescape, no co-founders. Girish Matrubhutam, he has co-founders, but Girish is the only one that people know of. It's quite possible to be like that, but it is just that more and more people are looking for, 2 or 3 co-founders. And we talked to the person who was doing the behavioral ophthalmology, right? And she was saying she was going around in her friend's circle. So I would say just do that ASAP in your associate circle, business associate circles. Question answered or not?
yes, ma'am. Hope that answers the question. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So participants, you can post your question in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and go ahead with your questions. So with that, the next question, the roles and responsibilities shared between the founders and co-founders. What would be that take?
I thought we already answered this question.
Yes. Yeah, ma'am. So we've already taken up this question before. So yeah, the next question here, how many co-founders ideally a startup can have, and does the quantity has impact in the startup?
See, 2 to 3, any more than that, it becomes harder and harder to collaborate. Because in the early ideating and prototyping stage, you really need, close collaboration, and 7 people is too many, for example. 2 to 3 is fine. Max 4.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move to the next question. Next question is, what are the few points to be cautious of when choosing a co-founder from Josh? Josh, you want to unmute and elaborate on your question?
Yeah, just maybe in terms of legal point of view, at the same time, maybe exit clause, things like legal things, and at the same time, even creative or creation of the product in terms of those, or like contribution wise of work and things like that. In terms of those, what are things that we should be cautious of when choosing a co-founder?
The thing is to approach this with a positive mindset. If we approach it with a negative mindset, looking at all the fallouts, then it from the beginning that relationship will be doomed. Yes, you must have exit clauses, and yes, you must have something about what happens when the person leaves, how much of his shareholding retains, etc., etc. But when it comes to let's say contribution and so on, I think that will be hard to judge. Product alone is not the contribution. Somebody who's doing product is good, but somebody who's going out and doing the market development has built a market for the product. So I would say, don't stress too much on that. The only legal part should be what happens at the exit period. In the rest, I think you should have a frank chat and then decide, okay, I'm 40-40 or I'm 40-60 or, we are 30-40-30, something like that. It also depends upon, if which one of you is willing to put in a little money up front or is willing to quit the job, and therefore, there is a opportunity cost. There is no, rule book for these. Some of these you have to go by your gut. Have I answered your question, Josh?
Yeah. Yes. Thanks, sir.
All right. Great.
Yeah. Any other question from the participants before we wind up the today's session? Any more questions? You want to unmute and go ahead? You can. Or you can post in the chat box too.
Yeah, this is Madhu again, Madhu from Natural Minds.
Yeah.
Padma, you said we can go for the angel investment circle or CGT SME or whatever. When I said that, yes, we started getting certain revenue flowing in through the system by way of transactions and so on. But is there any yardstick development, any level that now you should have so many number of transactions and so much money should come out of.
No,
You know,
there isn't a hard and fast rule on that.
Uh-huh.
But it can't be, let's say, 1,000 rupees a month.
Okay. Got it.
I mean, it has to show some kind of, upward trajectory, and it has to, at this rate, if we grow, we will be doing 1 crore a year, something like that, or 1.5 crores a year, running rate, etc. So you should have, sizable numbers, but 1,000 rupees a month is not an appropriate number.
That's right. So we just started, and yes, we are seeing month-on-month growth from, let's say, from last 2 months to now.
Yeah.
And definitely, we have a 5-year plan and all that we have put in place, and we are trying to go through that. But then, where we are actually a little bit struggling is that now that it is getting onto the operations, the expansion of the team, the working capital that we will need to fuel the system with required support, as well as to go take.
No, I understand that.
That is where we are actually looking for,
So you will have to try your luck with the angel networks, but I would also suggest that if the bank offers you a hypothecation opportunity, take it.
Okay.
Because that's not a bad thing at all, actually.
All right. Okay.
I mean, you are not running an asset-based business, so they will hypothecate your personal residential house or your second flat or something like that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's what the manager was telling me.
Yeah.
Even if it is at least for 20 lakhs, it is fine. But then hypothecate something.
Yeah, many founders I know have done that.
Okay.
Then that prevents them from diluting too early.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Yeah, thanks, Padma. It's really helpful to decide now.
Yeah, thank you, Madhubala. Any other question from the participants before we wrap the session?
I do have a question not related to the topic today. For something that we are doing, I wanted to look at getting in touch with the Gates Foundation, and it looks like there are some common areas of interest, which I think would be interesting. What's the best way to get in touch with them? Any thoughts on that, Padma?
Sorry, what are you doing?
So we are building something called Daffodil Health, which is a full stack digital mental health platform for children with special needs. And maternal child health has been like a mainstay of the Gates Foundation.
MCH is the focus, but for them, MCH basically means it's not so much on mental health. The main focus in MCH is infectious diseases.
Right.
And then to a lesser extent, nutrition, which is a somewhat challenging area.
Okay. So mental health is not something that.
It's not. Mental health is. You see, it's a very tiny problem compared to the scale of infectious disease and nutrition.
Okay, got it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Any other question from the participants before we close up today's session? Ma'am, with that, we have come to the end of today's session.
Okay.
Any closing remarks, ma'am, for the startups out here?
Yeah, I mean, I think except these are all part of your monthly batch, is it?
No, ma'am. This is the sessions we usually run, open to all the startups out here. So
Aspiring
we
startups.
incorporate.
Got it. Yeah. No, I mean, I think I'm very glad to see such a nice diversity of participants in today's call, and I encourage each and every one of you to just forge ahead. Just be brave, take the step. It's okay. You may fail, but failure is all right. You can always go back to what you were doing before that, and so take the bold step forward. And do a lot. You can find a lot of things from the internet.
Yeah. Ma'am, one last thing. Which angel network you are in?
Chennai Angels.
Chennai Angels, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry. Yeah. With that, we'll close today's session, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time again this evening. for your patience and the way you amazingly answered all the questions. We know the participants list. We had mixed audience this time. We had startups who are mature, who have startups who are in the market stage, and who are even fresh graduates, and some of the academicians too. And thank you for answering their questions very patiently, ma'am. And definitely the participants will be tremendously benefited out of your valuable inputs. Thank you so much again, ma'am, for
Yeah,
sharing
thank you
your
all.
time
And
with us.
I
this evening.
enjoyed listening to each and every one of you. I wish all of you the very best of luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So thank you all the
Thank you very
participants.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have put up feedback form in the chat box too. Please do fill it us for us to improve the upcoming session. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye. Have a good evening.